Hey, this is Lola, but you can call me Lola if you like.
Hi, this is Velisa, and you can call me Vels if you want. And this is the Everybody Hates HR podcast, episode 86. And
hi, this is Aisha, or you can call me Authentic Aish. From the Bride's Room. You may or may not know me, but I'm glad to be here, guys.
We're happy to have you.
We're so excited to have you.
Thanks, guys.
We love the Bride's Room.
Oh, and I love Everybody Hates HR. So
Oh my God, look at that link up from
yeah,
heaven.
know, right?
Literally, who would have thought, when you commented and said, I'm in HR, I was like, oh my
I
gosh.
know, and when I saw you got married, I was like, oh my God, guys, come to the pod.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense. So, where should we start? Who are you?
Who actually am I?
Yeah, why are you here?
You know what? I just wanted everyone to see me outside of wedding stuff. I feel like I have a whole life that happens outside of the pod. And you know what? I just thought it's about time, just talk about other things other than wedding planning. So, yeah, so I'm Aisha. I guess the main question would be what do I do on a day-to-day? And I am a senior people business partner in the tech space. Wait, one of you's tech, innit? One of you's tech.
I mean, I'm
You're what?
I'm open. I'm in more of an open relationship with industry. I work with tech, but I'm not wedded to tech.
Yeah?
Anybody can have me that pace.
Yeah, at this point. What's your industry, Lola?
So I'm on my own HR consultancy, but I work with mainly I'm working with fintech at the moment actually. But listen, anybody can have it. Anyone can get it.
How much is the money? I hear it. So yeah, no, senior people business partner. I've been in the tech space now probably about 3-4 years, coming up to 4 years now. And I love it. And outside of the last 4 years, I've been in HR literally since I started working. So that's over 10 years now. So
wow.
Yeah. Glad to be.
Do you love it?
Do I love HR?
You was about to say, yeah, no, you thought, let me be honest.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, let me tell the truth. No, I don't. If I'm being entirely honest, I don't.
What don't you like?
You know what? I'm a social butterfly. So what I don't like is the exclusion from the other teams and stuff.
Oh, we spoke about that before.
Yeah, I don't like being that girl. I kind of actually want to be everyone's friend. So I find it hard being an empath, but having to fire someone that I really like as well at the same time. It's really tough.
Do you work in big companies or small companies?
I've done both.
Okay.
I've done all sizes. So I've done really big global companies. Now I'm currently in my smallest company. So the company I work for now is about 90 people. That's the smallest I've ever worked for. And just me and my manager.
That's my ideal size, you know.
Do you think so?
Yeah,
I do like that side because there's not that many people to manage, to be honest. But it can be a bit boring, no?
And you can make decisions quickly.
Yeah, I guess so. No?
I like being in my tens or thousands.
Yeah. Really? Yeah. Why?
Do you know what? This is going to sound so mad, but I like being a number. I don't like.
It?
Yeah.
Do you know what? There's something there.
There's beauty in both, I think.
Yeah. There's something there.
Yeah,
there's something being because when you're in a smaller company, literally, will always be more scrutiny.
Exactly.
On what you're doing,
Everyone's going to think you're shit.
You're literally 1% of that company.
Yeah.
More than 1%.
Literally less.
Whereas you, 0.0.
I'm just like, where's Velisa? I don't know.
It's true. It's true.
It's true.
No, but what I hate about big companies though is just so I'll compare the two. So currently in the smaller company, if I want to do something, no one is stopping me. Just by tomorrow it's done. There's no levels of sign off. Whereas in bigger companies, having to do the whole sign off, waiting the day, they review it. Actually, should we give them this £1,000? That's just long. I hate going. I hate having to climb through the ranks in that sense.
So true.
Yeah.
That's so true.
I do like the chaos. I feel like there's beauty in the chaos of smaller companies.
Because there's some things that you will see in a smaller company that you just will never touch on in a larger company. Because there'll be somebody who is literally hired to make sure that doesn't happen or make sure it does happen or whatever. So sometimes when you're in smaller companies, you're just like, how did we get here?
Yeah.
But also then you get to fix it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know, I hear it. I always say I'm really happy I started in really small companies.
Oh, is it?
Because it exposed me to a lot of things. And I got to decide actually what area of HR I wanted to specialise in. Because I specialise in ER.
Oh, nice.
So I'm happy for that. But now I'm happy to be a number.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I feel like sometimes when I say this, people think I'm just chatting, but at some point in time, I could just pack up this business and go and work at a company. Listen, whatever is going to suit my lifestyle at the time. So I'm not one of those people. I'm not like, oh,
you're fluid.
Yeah. You don't have to work in the I'm not one of these people that runs their own company that thinks working
like
9 to 5 makes you a chump. Sometimes working 9 to 5,
it's true. Like
it's less stressful.
Yeah. And you know what's so funny? What do you guys think about this? I saw someone tweet. I won't say her name, but a finance person. She tweeted this yesterday, and I was like,
I think I know what tweet you're going to say, but go on.
I was like, you know the tweet.
No, I haven't.
I was like, I don't know if I agree with this, but she was just like, a 9 to 5 is not going to make you wealthy. Let's just put that to rest or something like that. And I was like, oh, I don't know if I agree with that statement.
I think it's more about what you do with your money, because like also that is true to an extent but it's more about the person. Working a 9 to 5 can make you wealthy, depending on what you do with your money.
Yeah.
Also, working for yourself is not a guaranteed wealth deriver or whatever. Some people are working for themselves and they are
on minimum wage. Minimum wage.
Yeah, I don't agree with that, especially being in the tech space
and you've seen the numbers when you're pulling that spreadsheet and you're looking.
You see some of those numbers, the vesting of restricted stocks that people get when they sign on.
I was like, that is the biggest cap.
I've seen people. I saw an accelerated share exit once where like a company something was happening.
They exited.
So basically all the shares that would have vested over the next 5 years,
they got it all at once.
They vested once. People got rich.
Yeah,
I've seen people who do. I want to say rich. I'm saying some people are leaving that company with $1 million plus,
100%.
And they were employees. And obviously senior employees, but that's why that kind of startup scale up space I think is really interesting for a lot of people, because you can go and get some shares. If it's a company that you believe in, watch it grow, even if it's a big tech company and they're going to go through some sort of event or something. So I just think sometimes people people chat. People finance advice on Twitter.
And it's like you've never actually had access to like the back end.
And if I talk, I find out that before they were whatever they were working, they were a payroll administrator talking about
you get that one. Like, about you can't get wealthy. It's like, oh babe, no, I definitely don't agree with that. I don't. But
it's that kind of toxic mentality, I think, that really holds people back.
Because they really it's ignorance. It's just ignorance of not knowing what's actually out there. 100k Twitter are just talking. Like, they just don't know.
I was just like, 100k Twitter that ain't earning 100k.
That part.
Basically, because I'm claiming in Jesus' name, but I'm not wealthy right now. But like half of the money for our house, it wasn't my money, it was stocks. I didn't use my money for the deposit.
And that's the
do you know what I mean? But like then you have people saying, oh you
can't do it on a 9 to 5.
Like, hello, what are you talking about?
And that frustrates me so much as well.
I've seen recruiters.
Oh,
like
let's not even start with them.
Now some of them are struggling.
Back in the day, they was making money.
Even not even in their heyday. Recruiters in 2021.
Yeah. I actually wish they were chopping.
They were making money.
2021 was the year.
You've been a HR person at a recruitment company. I've been a HR person at a recruitment company.
Make the money
I've seen recruiters, who have a 30k base, 30k base salary, make $250,000 in a year.
Yep.
You know how mad that is? Your base is 30k. When they say, do you want us to increase it? I don't really care.
They're going to make the money back anyway.
It doesn't make sense. So they're just like, no, I don't.
I didn't realize recruiters. I never used to rate recruiters for a long time.
But right now, I don't think it is like it's
not that. It's not that.
The market's changed.
The market is just not. Do you ever think the market's going to go back to what it was before? You think
which before?
Like, okay, well,
it won't go back to COVID times.
Oh, COVID times was a dream.
That was too soon.
I used to feel like hotcake every time.
Every day, LinkedIn.
I see your experience.
Every day.
I'm even doing interviews for banter. Like, you know, let me see
with them and see what happens.
I don't know about that. 2021 was what a year. That was the year I started my company.
Is it?
If it was a year before, a year after, I would have never been able to do it.
I remember seeing your LinkedIn post actually during the pandemic, and I remember you like going in, and that was the time as well, like when the whole like George Floyd, like BLM. I feel like if you were a black person and you had like a really good initiative, that was your time to shine. Did you rock it?
2021. Yeah, beginning of 20. So basically, I got to the end of 2020 and I was literally burnt out because I was like head of HR at a recruitment company.
Oh God!
And during 2020, part of COVID.
Oh, that must have been.
Everyone was just like, no recruitment for us, please. Really? So it was just redundancy,
Then
taking pay cuts, everything. And then I was just got to the end of 2020, and I didn't realize how exhausted I was until I had like some time off. Then I broke up with my boyfriend at the time, and which I thought was devastating. But obviously now we look back, thank God. She's
like, praise God
for sparing me. And I just thought, wow, like it just sent me into like some sort of crisis, like, and I was like, I was gonna quit, but then I didn't. And then I ended up going to like 4 days a week using my holiday for 2 months, and I was like, no, I'm good again. So I went into March, and then I was just like going. Then I just saw it was just stressful because we made all these recruiters redundant. They might have been earning like, some of them 35, 40k. Then to hire the same recruiters back, for like they're telling that they want 50k, 60k now. And it was such a stressful year, and then everything was growing. Them times it was so much. Then I got to the end of the year, and I just remembered I was just really annoyed about just a load of things. And I just remember like every other day someone was asking me on LinkedIn, can we have a chat? Can they take me for coffee? I felt like hotcakes.
I was saying like that was a good
that company. They were fighting, sleuthing to find my mobile number. Yes, I loved it. So I was like, you know what? I can just quit because I'll get another job, like just whatever. And then I ended up not wanting to have another job because I got approached about a contract, and the contract money. The normal money was sweet. The contract money was sweet. The time I got approached for that contract, I didn't even like. When I saw it, I thought these people are joking.
No,
I said, they must be joking.
There was people that were doing 2 contracts at a time, or even 3.
I wish I was smart like that. I wasn't 500, 600 pounds per day.
I was enjoying. Are you pregnant? Oh, that's nice. That's a nice time to kind of like just.
Listen, I just saw that for 500, 600, 700 pounds per day. I was like, are these people okay?
That's crazy.
Are they okay?
But it was literally like that though.
It was
like time. What a time to be alive.
I wish let it just come. I just need one more. Just one more time.
One more chance. Let us all, because everybody chopped.
Next time I will chop. Like, no, I don't think I chopped enough. I did not chop enough. So
that was a good time. I don't think you'll ever go back to that.
No, I don't think so.
And also companies have learned, because what they did during 2021, where they hired. And what happened in 2022
and then
was fire, redundancy, layoff.
Did you guys have to do redundant? Well, I take it. I'm assuming
I didn't do any.
You didn't? Oh yeah, because you're ERs, and then I did. Did you?
Yeah, of course. I did loads. I was in a company that went from like 220 down to 110.
Yeah,
literally half.
Yeah. How did you find like fire? Question: how did you find your first time firing someone? How was that for you?
I did it in my first ever HR role when I was a standalone, and the guy he cried, and I didn't know what to do, and so you don't know this about my toxic trait is that when men cry, I feel bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel bad. It was a sales guy. He wasn't making any sales.
Oh.
And you know what? Yeah, I could just tell. Sorry.
It's not even funny, and I hope he doesn't see this.
Like, he can't even argue. Like,
I know the numbers are not lying.
I could just feel his pain, I just could just tell. I didn't know nothing about him, but from his eyes, I could see he was trying. I felt so bad. And obviously, because I was standalone, also it was my first, we were speaking about this the other day. Yeah. It was my first HR role. I was standalone HR manager. I didn't know what I was doing. I was doing my CIPD. Yeah. I felt like I had to act like I know what I'm doing. I had to go in there and be confident. Yeah. I was just like, what the hell? Yeah. So I was trying to, like, his manager, thank God, sales companies, they're a bit brutal. Like, the managers they're used to firing people like they're dab hands. So his manager went in and he was like, Lola's going to speak to you about the offboarding and, like, the logistics, and he just left me to it. And I said, are you okay?
When managers do that though,
he left the room.
It's so annoying.
He left the room. To be honest, I think he needed to leave the room because
yeah.
And then I asked the guy if he was okay, which was it's dumb because when you're upset, someone asks you if you're okay. Like, of course I'm not okay. If I'm on the edge of tears, if you want to make me cry, ask me that question.
Yeah.
So I was like, are you okay? And I said, do you know what? I'm just going to talk you through some stuff. You let me know if you want to interpret. And I was just like, I couldn't. I was just like, so I was just talking to him so delicately. And he was just, when they tell you, like, I really tried. Mate. Yeah, so that was my first experience. He was very nice though.
You make me sound cold-hearted.
I know, right?
Yeah.
The first time you did it, what you do is slam it and kick you.
No, I remember it was a woman and she...
just like, get out of here.
She just wasn't doing well. Like, people weren't gelling with her. She was just not doing her job properly.
That makes it easier though.
And she cried, and I just like pushed the tissue box.
I think they pushed her.
I pushed the tissue box. Well, I was just like, do
you want a tissue?
And I was just like, I'm just going to give you a minute. And I just sat there just waiting like a little bit before talking to her. And then
that's not bad.
She started going, but then she started going, oh, I've got kids and all of that. And I was like, man. But I was,
oh my God.
You said I'm sorry your grandma died, yeah?
Fuck them kids.
I'm sorry your grandma died, but I don't want to be your friend yet.
I didn't say it out loud, but in my head I was like, oh man, like that's not good. But I was just like, obviously I'm really sorry that this is happening, and then just went through the logistics. I'm just like,
have you ever had someone change their mind? Because I've never seen it personally. Like, this is the thing that I don't think people get, and it's gonna listen. There was somebody on. This is the context I'm going to give you. There was someone on Instagram who said maybe we're not giving the best impression of HR.
What you guys?
Because I said something. Yeah. But I'm just going to say this, and if you think this gives a bad impression of HR,
okay.
I've never seen anyone change their mind. So when people are trying to explain to you and negotiate with you and say they can do this, they can do that, it will never work. I've never seen someone say, okay, look, we want to get rid of Velisa. And then Velisa said, yeah, but I can do X, Y, and Z.
And they're like, okay.
By the time they come to you, by the time they come to you, their mind is made up.
Yeah, they've thought about it.
There's nothing that you can say in that moment which is going to preserve your job.
And you wouldn't even want to stay. Even if they did change their mind, would you even? You'd feel so paranoid.
It's out of like, some people would. It's out of scarcity, out of you just want to have a job. Maybe you've got family to support. I get it.
Do you think people know that by the time you see HR, you have been the talk of the town for a number of years?
I don't think people know that. I think only HR people know that.
Even if it's like, I just don't know, because I've seen people. There was one that I had. I think I told you about it. The worst one I had, I saw a woman beg. Like she
for her job?
Begged, yeah. No. And I just and I had to in the end, I asked the manager to just leave the meeting, because I just felt like it was degrading.
With the lady?
I didn't want her to degrade herself. Like,
I stand up.
I told her, I said, look.
This is unprofessional, babe.
Not even unprofessional. I literally just said, like, and it was a woman of colour as well. Oh. So I just...
when it's your own people, that's tough, man.
And it was a white man.
Oh.
So
dynamic.
I want to walk out.
I just had to say,
why don't you just join it? No?
I just said, you know what, we can do the rest, because the decision has been communicated, blah blah. Yeah. We can do the rest. And I just said, look, I've asked X to leave because the decision is made, and I don't want you to have to feel like you need to do this because the decision's been made. I don't want you to basically
change your mind.
I don't want you to have to go through that. It's not nice. I don't want you to I had to explain to her, like, in a nice way. I didn't want to say, I don't want you to embarrass yourself, I don't want you to lower yourself, degrade yourself like this. Sad. And I had to explain it, and she was like, but can't we do? I said,
was this pre-pandemic times?
Post-pandemic.
Oh wow.
But
wow.
But I just had to explain, like, the decision has been made, so it really doesn't matter what you say at this moment in time. I think we should focus on what we can do, to help you moving forward.
I think it's harder firing people when you're in that kind of position. When it's so much more easier when they're just sorry to say, but a dickhead. Like, me, like, I've had people just be like, oh, fuck
I love them ones.
Bitch.
I love them ones.
I'm like, I
love them ones. Okay, because then it's like any sympathy.
Really?
Any sympathy I had,
it's gone the window.
I think they genuinely think, there's certain situations where you will feel bad, and I think when people look at HR, they think you're just
heartless
faceless,
people.
Heartless people. And no, we've all done dismissals where we genuinely felt for the person. Even performance ones. You know, sometimes
even push back on the manager. Like, have you spoken?
Have you done this?
Have you documented that? Like, let's try lighten the load. Like, have you? I'm riding for you, especially when it's like one of my people. I'm kind of like, come on, like, let's get it together. Even stylishly trying to tell them, like, fix up. So and then you get to that point, and then you're making me not feel bad for you no more. Sorry.
But I don't think they get it. Like, sometimes HR in the back being like, okay, have you tried the performance? Because we say there's skill and will. Those ones, it's like some people are not performing because they just can't be bothered to put in their work, put in the effort, and other people are not performing because with all the will in the world, it's just not for them. And those ones I always feel sorry for, because you can come to work, be diligent, try your best, and this is just not for you. Or that level is not for you.
In another company.
You can.
There might be a big fish in a different pond.
Exactly. So for those people, I do feel bad for them.
No, but I think that's why you lot's podcast is so needed, because I think you just need to talk about these things. People need to see it from the other side of the wall, this imaginary wall, because I think, like you said, a lot of people just think like we're robots and we're not humans, and we don't think, oh, like what impression is this going to give to the rest of the business, or how's this going to make the team feel, or how's it going to make, like, literally we are humans. Those questions, we are humans, and we do go through that roller coaster. But I think if I was an employee and I didn't understand the HR process, listening to you guys, I think would kind of make me feel a bit more seen and understand a little bit more. Might not make my experience a bit better.
I think we're actually encouraged to act like robots, and that's what I don't get. Like we're always told professionalism is one thing, but professionalism doesn't mean a lack of empathy or a lack of emotion. And I think that's how we're kind of encouraged to be like, you can have emotion whilst not being like, you know, you can manage your emotions. You don't have to be like crying in a meeting or whatever. But I think when people think about, even as they're entering the profession, I think they feel like we have to be these really stoic HR, straight-faced, like no emotion people.
I think it depends on the kind of company you work for, though. 100%. I think it all boils down to like the culture of the company. Like I've worked for companies where like it's very corporate, very British, and so you're kind of forced to be that way because we're not used to being chirpy and like bubbly. Then obviously a lot more times in the tech space, I think you are encouraged to be a bit more human.
It's the Americans.
Yeah. Do you think so?
It's Americans. It's the Americans.
Yeah.
No, they would.
I feel like I'm
how are you, Lola? It's like, wow. They could have just jumped off that dismissal.
It's true.
They could have just like
all the times I have meetings with Americans, you know, obviously like with the West Coast, when it comes to the end of our day, it's the beginning of theirs. They will jump on that you up so chirpy. It's like 5:30, 6 p.m. Like I'm ready, and then you said, "Hey guys," and I'm just like, "Oh my gosh!" Like
these times it's 8 a.m. It's 8 a.m.
Literally, how? It's the coffee. It's the coffee.
It's just the vibes. Like even we use for my company we use Bamboo HR.
Oh, okay.
Because it's just cheap and cheerful. My actual company.
Oh, okay, cool.
And also for some of my clients we have it.
Nice.
But all of their templates are like
American.
they're American.
Yeah.
So when you read, the first time I said, no, we have to get rid of this.
It's a revamp this.
When I got the ATS for one of my clients, and when I read like we're so delighted that I was like, just relax.
Yeah,
we've received your application.
Thank
we don't
you.
need to be delighted. We don't need to
like,
be
oh my God, we've been waiting for you.
You know, hey there.
Hi.
We can say hi.
Yeah.
We can say dear.
Rich people are miserable.
Yeah, I know.
All of their templates start with hey there.
When you're even too chirpy as well, and I feel like as well, like dependent again on the company, if you are a bit too chirpy. So let's say like for example the companies that I've been in, when I have been chirpy and they've been a bit more black and white, they almost take you a bit more for, I don't want to swear on this podcast.
No, you can swear, it's fine.
Yeah, but they almost take you for a bit of a dickhead. Like kind of like, oh, this one we can she's not all there anyway, so like we don't have to take her seriously. So I do think it's your environment, but that's my 2 pence on it, really, to be honest.
Be both.
Do you think so?
Yeah,
I think as I've gotten older, like the respect is coming through. Yeah. But when I was younger, hell no, I don't think so. I think as a young person in the workplace, you kind of have to be a bit more serious. I just don't think you take it serious.
I think
because I think you're young and dumb.
Yeah, I would say I was more serious earlier on in my career, where you're still just trying to learn things, so you don't want to mess up.
Yeah.
So you're following. Like my director would say, okay, this is what you need to say. This is what you need to do. So I'll be like, okay.
Got it.
All right, let's go.
And I'll go in, I'll be like, hello. And I'll just like reel off everything in my head. But now when you find your own flow, you find your own style, you feel more confident going into it. You can gauge who you're speaking to. Yeah, it's all experience. And then you adapt your style to whoever you're having a conversation with. So.
It reminded me of, we got a DM and somebody was asking us, like, is it true that people, why do people remove their university dates?
I did that.
I did it too.
I did that.
Me too.
Sorry,
I did it too.
Sorry.
And I was like, because people don't want to let people know how old they are. Especially when, like, I think we've all been in situations where we've all been in like very serious or senior or whatever roles when we're a bit younger. And so age discrimination kind of works in both ways. So some people are older and they don't want to kind of give that away. Yeah. But then I know that when I got my first head of HR role, I was 28.
See?
Yeah. But then some of the comments, I just didn't like them. And then people are asking me how old I am. And I'm like, if you thought I was 35, if you thought I was 40, you wouldn't be asking me this question. So you've obviously looked at me, thought I was, young, and then felt like it's appropriate because you think youth is great. You feel like it's appropriate to now ask me, and now I'm feeling uncomfortable. And then you're giving me backhanded compliments. Oh, like you're really good for someone so young, or do you know what I mean? Like, I don't like that. So I just took it off.
Yeah.
Listen,
I took mine and I've never looked back ever since as well.
You can speculate. And the thing is, because like obviously, you know, as it goes, black don't crack.
Yeah.
So I feel like we, compared to like what people think we are, we always
younger.
look younger.
Yeah, that's true.
I agree.
That's a lot true.
I've been in investigations where, like, with senior leaders and VPs, and I remember there's a particular man who he said to me in the meeting. I was asking him about something and he said, "Oh, you probably won't know because it's probably before your time."
Oh, shut up, man.
I was looking at him
like, what do you mean before my time?
Like, I hate when people say that.
First of all, is that appropriate for you to say to me?
Age
Secondly, I knew exactly what he was. It was before my time, but like I knew what he was talking about. So it's not necessary for you to tell me that, because it made me feel like
inexperienced.
You feel like I shouldn't be asking you these questions or questioning your integrity with whatever it was that he did because you think I'm young. And it's just like, no,
I hate being in that position. I've had it. I still have it. Been having it. Something I'm continuously fighting. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I do it. I just end up fighting all my colleagues.
Yeah,
to be honest,
I don't
like,
care.
I'm just gonna have to fight.
Yeah,
you just have to own it. I got ID'd in Tesco.
Oh God.
Lola, you always have to take it a step
on Saturday. No, this is I was making lamb.
Yeah.
And the lamb recipe that I have is
nice
red
red
wine. And I don't even drink. So I went to Tesco, got all whatever I needed. Red wine. Because I told them, I was like, "Have you got ID?"
I do.
I've got it on my phone. 'Cause I didn't have it. I forgot. But it's like I have it on my phone. He's like, "Oh, sorry, love." I'm like, "Come on."
Really? Are you
and,
gonna
and something else? Red wine, and I tried to get some new kitchen scissors.
Oh yeah, that's for over 16, right?
Yeah.
They did not think you were under 16.
They didn't. I didn't let me take either of them.
No.
Really? And I was like,
that's taking their job too seriously.
That's
nothing to do with what you look like.
And do you know what? Like, I don't go to Tesco that much, yeah. But when I go, it's always the same guy on the self checkout.
So he knows. You know.
That was me. Because
it's personal. It's personal.
Yeah. I buy Haribo. I buy too much Haribo. Sometimes, whenever I go to Tesco, I went to see like a little Haribo there in it. So maybe you think sometimes.
Tell your Haribo thief.
Maybe this is the girl that buys Haribo. This is that school girl that buys Haribo.
By wine.
That's cool. The age discrimination thing is just too much for me personally. I can't lie.
I won't even put it back on now. The only thing I've got on there is my masters. I took off because masters you can do it any time.
Yeah. So you took off your degrees?
Yeah, I took it off.
Me too.
And masters I put it on because I was like, I want you to know that I did this recently.
Yeah. Then fair enough. Fair enough.
But with everything else, no way. Absolutely not. I even took off like my graduate role. It's not useful to me now.
True.
The flip side of LinkedIn is when you have somebody who's using a picture, you know they don't look like that anymore. Like that picture is from 20 years ago. Why are you using that picture?
Wait, I have not. Wait. People are actually doing that
before.
Someone's like 50-year-old. Like
they send an email internally saying, "Oh, welcome so and so," and they'll put the picture. And I remember there was one woman starting from America, and I was like,
thinking, "Damn!"
When she introduced herself, she came over. I said,
"Sis,
excuse me."
But it might. But like you said, the flip side, because they probably just don't want to be discriminated.
But why? But why would you even want that? Do you know? Why would you want that?
Yeah, it's not fun.
You want people to. It's like if anyone was ever on dating apps, you want people to meet you in real life and think, "Oh, you look better." You don't want it to go the other way.
We're catfishing it, but make it corporate.
But it is what it is. But it's sad that people feel the need to have to do that. But there's definitely there has to be some sort of link between attractiveness and job success, whatever.
So? Yeah, I think it's a likability thing.
I think it's both.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I think it's likability.
How you look and then your likable character as well. Yeah,
and smiling and like that's why I like this. There's certain guys that I know. They're looking for jobs. I tell them put a smiley picture on your LinkedIn. They want to be looking all stone faced in the picture.
You have to know how to play the game. It's something I only recently started doing, because before I used to take everything so personal. Every time like, oh, this person's coming for me. Then I realized, oh, it's not even. It's actually work is actually very simple, especially in the UK anyway. Work is very simple. You just got to make friends with the right people that have the right influence and.
But that can also be so exhausting. It can be.
It can, but when the money rolls in.
I know, but just, do you know what? Sometimes I just think about how often we have to code switch. Do you know that's basically acting all day for 8 hours a day?
But it doesn't necessarily, I don't think it has to be code switching anymore. I think you're looking at me like, girl, like, what is you talking about?
I don't think saying that from a privileged position as someone in HR.
Do you think so?
Yeah. Because when you code switch, it's not necessarily you changing who you are. You're just switching to be in HR, which I think is different for people who have
not in the space.
who just have to code switch, because for example, if you have someone who's like Cockney, they're from East London, they can come in, they can be like, you're right, mate, blah, blah, and people will kind of see it as endearing. But if you come in, you're like, yo, bro, you can't do that. You have to change it. Yeah. But you're also from East London, but your dialect is different.
Can't talk like that.
Because it's just not one that people are familiar with.
They wouldn't even call it a dialect.
It's not a dialect.
They'll say you don't have to talk.
Gangster.
But guys, I feel like you can be that though.
No,
do you know what?
No, I was about to say it's taking me because I feel like I can actually be like, "Hey, girl," and literally say that to my manager.
Also, it's very. It depends.
It depends on who and where.
It depends on who, because the hey girl is very like that's who you are is inherently less offensive than if you were like more, like. Road. Do you know what I mean? Okay, so it depends on how. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Imagine your natural, like where you're most comfortable is being where you're from and who you are, and now you have to come into this space. Not only do you can't even dress maybe how you want to dress. You can't speak how you want to speak. You don't know people like this either. Like none of your friends look like this, and none of their friends look like you.
Yeah,
and you have to do that for 8 hours.
No, but I feel like it doesn't have to be. Well, once again, it depends on the company. But I feel like I've reached a place where I feel like I've found the sweet spot. I feel like I've found the sweet spot.
But you also have experience now as well.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like I've got the experience.
You're talking from because
I know how to just.
No, do you know?
I know who to say. What to
seniority.
Say
It's some part of it is seniority, and also part of it is like we used to say. Like when was that Deloitte? Like some of when you were a grad, like you had to, like when the new grad girls came in, or women, like so there was a couple who would have really short skirts, and then we would always be like, someone had to come to talk to you about the dress code or whatever. But the senior people, there was a couple senior women who wore short skirt, but no one didn't care that they wore short skirt because we already know that they know their style. Do you know what I mean? And it's kind of like that. They say that the more senior you get, the shorter your skirt.
Yeah, true.
The shorter your skirt.
Maybe that's what it is. It's probably
and
that.
It's bad. It shouldn't be like that, but it kind of is like that. So like I've definitely found my career like that. Like now, I don't give a damn. When I go to my clients, like sometimes
they even pick up my lingo.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I don't give a damn.
I had a CEO that wouldn't stop saying, this is the hill that I'll die on. Like it's like I just don't care now because I'm there. But I never used to be like that. And
it takes time.
It does take a while. But I do feel like it is fun when you finally reach there and realize, this is not real. Like it's actually let's just go to the Christmas party and just turn up and like just create the memories with your.
I'm not there.
You're not there. No, but I feel like that's what makes life so much more easier. Though
we've spoken about it. I'm in ER. I just don't want to be there when everything goes down because it's
fair enough. Fair enough.
Fair
enough. I heard that.
Not,
and the Christmas parties are big companies that are big Christmas parties.
Like you know what I mean. Yeah, when they're huge, it's just like
you don't want to do no little Christmas. You're not gonna hiring up Madame Tussauds.
But for me, it's the people team that still end up being the ones that, because they're the ones that organize it as well in the companies that I've been in. They're the ones that organize it. They're the ones that are pushing for. Naturally, my manager's going to be there, so I kind of still have to do the whole.
Yes and
no. Guys, what are you wearing? Oh my God, I'm going to wear this black. Oh, look at the dress. Look at the dress I got.
You know what? Look at the shoes. Small company Christmas party ain't the same like big company Christmas party. We're getting ready in the toilet.
I used to organize the Christmas ones when I was junior in my career, but. Now, like,
no, but even big corps as well. Like, I feel like that's even more fun because there's more budget, there's more alcohol. It's more fun. I get what you're saying on the ER front, though.
I've been like, I went with my friend Maury to one. I used to work at Meta, and I went to one, and it was like Ricky and Martin, whatever.
I think I saw that on the one time. It looked really good.
There was DJ.
It looked really
like
good.
Roller skating. There was like all this stuff, and
you didn't want it.
I did go. That one was all right because it was
giving.
It was massive. Yeah, but now like. It wasn't a Christmas one, but last year when I went to Vegas for work, and it was like,
yes, girl.
I know, right?
I went to see Usher. I left them. Like,
Why? But it doesn't. Does it impact? It doesn't stop you from progressing, though, does it?
No, I feel like if you know the role you're in,
not like
ER. Okay, fine.
Because I feel like when you're in ER, you have two types of companies. You have the companies that want you to be visible and create a brand so that people know that if shit hits the fan, you are the person to speak to.
Yeah.
And then you have other companies where ER is kind of like
just call your hotline.
They're behind the scenes. No
hotline.
You don't even know your company
what did
has
I do?
ER.
She said.
And then as soon as something happens, like you kind of appear from the darkness, and it's like, okay,
the Grim Reaper.
Like that's when they find out who ER is. Like you get to, so depending on what sort of company I'm working with will determine how visible I make myself.
No, that's fair enough.
Yeah. And how many ER people up there are as well. Like where I work now, it's me.
Oh wow!
But before that, I was one of 12.
Oh nice.
Do you get it? So when you're one of 12,
it's calm. Yeah, you can do whatever. Yeah.
So it depends.
I was gonna say, like, give us a little bit of your career journey, because I know you said you've been working 10 years.
Wow, my career. I don't feel like it's that fun, guys. I'm currently had 2 maternity leaves back to back. I know, right? It's been great. It's been so sweet. Life is not real right now, but my career has been quite simple, to be honest. I started off in April. I don't know. Am I allowed to say companies here?
If you want to.
You can say it, but you don't have to.
Yeah. Wait, what did you study?
So I studied literally,
okay.
But I only chose this because I didn't know what I wanted to do at uni. So I went to a white school. They kind of, at the time, racism was definitely still a thing, but like the white teachers just didn't give a damn about like what the black kids would do at uni. So they'll promote everyone to go and be a doctor and stuff. And then with me, they'll be like, oh, you could do like events management. No shade to events management, nothing. But when you compare the salaries, it's not really saying much unless you have your own company, right? And so I Googled some salaries and I saw HR was, at the time, like as someone that's like, how old was I? Maybe like 17. I saw like HR was like 26k. I was like, oh, this sounds like a lot of money. Like at the time,
the 17-year-old, that's
that's a big money, you know. At them times, right? So I just thought, okay, cool. Let me do that as a degree. I liked the degree. Did all right at uni. Got my 2-1, and then I just simultaneously. My uni put me at Avon, so I did like this like
Avon.
I know, right?
Wow.
So I didn't.
That is a throwback.
Yeah, but their head office was really big. So I was like at the European headquarters in Northampton, and it was really good. Like it was a really good experience. And then from there, I just kind of
HR.
Yeah. Yeah, so I just kind of stuck to that journey, and then from there, what was my next role? I can't remember.
Wait, did you do it like a sandwich, or you did it while you were at uni?
I did it, so it wasn't even, it was just like work experience.
Yeah.
So it wasn't actually like a placement or anything. Yeah, it was just like simultaneously with my degree in my 3rd year. And then I finished uni, and then I just, you know, that struggle of like when you finish uni and then everyone's like looking for a job.
Yeah.
Like, you're saying, oh, I'm delighted to get this 50k job at JP Morgan, and you're there like still hunting. It was that experience was horrible.
That is life, yeah.
And but yeah, so my first job was like at a little care company, and that was very messy.
In HR?
Yeah, in HR.
Have you ever had a non-HR job from like graduating?
I actually have.
Oh, okay.
I had. So to speed it up, I did HR. I worked at Arcadia for a bit, and that was
Arcadia sounds like hell.
Discount.
Yeah, the sample sales, it was fantastic. So yeah, no, Arcadia was a really good experience. The only thing was that was probably where I learnt the best HR skills that I have.
Okay.
Because obviously, like you're constantly
Arcadia,
putting,
That was a mess.
It was a hot mess. It was a hot mess. And
like fighting on the shop floor.
Even fighting on the shop floor.
Stealing from the shop floor.
Stealing fights. There's literally people swinging in the changing rooms, and you're having to like do the whole grievance. Like it was just a mess. But even outside of that, our CEO wasn't the most liked person in the world. So
That's Philip Green.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So you just did not want anything touching the public, because if it ever hit the news, then
that's it.
So imagine like any ER case you get is just on the news the next day. So you can imagine what kind of pressure like all the HR teams were under during that time.
Were they settling or no?
They're always settling.
Yeah.
Always settling. I wasn't privy to those cases though, but I would always overhear the conversations, but always settling because a lot of the paperwork is missing, so they can't even defend themselves.
Crazy.
I heard like a lot of like mental health like cases. Them times mental health wasn't a thing. So imagine someone saying like, anyway, loads of people were like just saying like how they got mental health issues and stuff and getting settled. Anyway, that's that. I got so scarred from being at Arcadia that then I was like, actually, I want a career change and I try something different. Yeah,
that's what Arcadia did to you.
Oh, it was traumatizing. It was actually really.
I can imagine it was a mess.
It was such a traumatizing experience. Like having to deal with people crying all the time, but then you're also crying in HR, and I want to talk about
together.
Like, we're just crying. Like I can't even help myself, let alone help you right now. But I want to talk about that HR for HR as well. But I'll talk about that in a second. Okay. But yeah, like my experience was literally that. And then I went into marketing for a bit.
Really?
Yeah. So I did a lot of like campaigns for like a black food company, Grace Foods. I don't know if you know them, but they do like all the Duns River seasoning and Kona. So I did a lot of like the marketing side for that, and like collabing with like brands, and even like going a little bit into like the music industry as well. It was a great time, but the pay just wasn't given for me, and I really wanted to make a massive change there, but I just didn't have the time to like wait like 10 years for this to reap what I'm sowing. And I just knew that I was at a stage where like I want to have kids, I want to like be where I'm at right now. So I kind of had to work backwards, and that lifestyle meant that like I was at the time when I was on marketing, I'm doing campaigns on the weekends, traveling up north, south, everywhere. And I just wanted a simple 9 to 5. So I came back into HR.
Good.
But I came back, and then that's when I came back into tech HR. So since then, it's been great, to be honest. Yeah. But then now I've had 2 maternity leaves, so I kind of feel a bit rusty as well. So, you know, now I'm a podcaster. Pray for me. But
Brideroom is going to blow.
Tell us about the brideroom.
Oh, brideroom. So like, I'm sure if you're listening, you've probably heard, I was a bride, and I started my own wedding podcast, the ghetto experience of planning. No one ever used to really talk about. So you just see like all the really pretty pictures on Instagram, and like you're like, oh my God, wow, like her wedding is so beautiful, or they look so great, or like even vendors will make their work look so amazing and immaculate, but then in reality it's not matching to what like I paid for. And I just feel like this is so mad. And even just like the family drama that you go through, and it's like, it's so mad that nobody actually talks about this side of life, because there's a lot that goes into it, money wise, emotionally, everything. So I started it, and I never looked back at like my first few episodes, because like,
oh really?
Yeah. I didn't look back. I just
didn't look back. Huh? You did.
I didn't look back to see if anyone watched it.
Oh really?
Yeah, I just put it back, and I think I just went back. I don't know, like maybe like a few weeks later, I went back to look at my first 3 episodes, and like they were hitting like 1K views, and I was like,
that's amazing.
Yeah, I know, right? I was like, oh wait, people actually like this.
That's kind of willpower. What? I'll be sending Velisa our stats
every day, on the hour.
No, once you start, it does get addictive looking at the analytics. But in the beginning, I was like, I'm not looking back. Like for me, it's like ministry. So I just felt like God has told me to do this, kind of like minister. This is going to sound so like, I hope it doesn't sound too cheesy, but like, I just felt like all the podcasts that I was listening to at the time, minus You Lot's one, was just all about like, oh, who pays on the first day and this and that. And it's like, no, but
Backchat podcast.
Yeah, do you get it? And no shade to them. Like, I really do enjoy like the messy side of the internet sometimes as well. But I do think there's a whole bunch of people that do just want to be seen, and like, that's just not their life.
Yeah.
And as well, there's a whole bunch of like, because all the people that I knew before then were just like heavy and deep in the church. But I feel like there's a whole bunch of like girls and guys that are just normal. I don't want to say, is it rude to say normal?
You're normal.
Yeah. I think I'm normal, and I'm not like, I'm still a Christian, but it's just not my whole personality. So I just wanted to just like make it relatable wedding content, and people loved it. Like, so I've just been 1 year deep in this. It's been a really good experience. I think people should be more listeners when it comes to like wedding planning stuff, because I still get really frustrated with like a lot of like the narratives that run online when it comes to like wedding planning. Like, I just see things like, oh, why would you spend actually, it started off because I said I spent 60k on my wedding.
Oh, is that how it started?
Yeah, I said it on another podcast. I said I spent 60k on my wedding.
Oh, you said you didn't have a budget.
Yeah, I remember, and everyone was like, how could you not? Oh my God. And it's like, no, this is actually a real thing.
When I heard you say that, I'm not going to lie, because I was planning my wedding.
Is it?
I remember saying, no budget?
Yeah, right. But everyone was like, money. Everyone was like,
so it's not just me.
Everyone was like, money long. I was like, it's not even like that. It's like, I think you just get so carried away, and then you get stuck halfway. You're like, shit, I've got to ride this out now. So that's literally how they get you. That's literally how they get you. Literally, you get like 1-2 vendors, and then there's an episode that my husband did with Bricks with Tips on Groom's Room, and they were talking about like this. Yeah, you know, watch it if you haven't.
Send it to your guy friends.
Yeah, literally send it to your guy friends. But they were talking about how like there's 25 things that cost 1k in your wedding.
No, it's true.
And it's already there, you've already spent 25k.
That was my problem.
That's literally how you get to a position where you spend like a month.
Right.
Yeah, it's £500. Like, I'll just pay the first half now, and then
I have to pay the rest till next year.
It's crazy. Like, when I have so many friends who are like getting married and stuff, and when I see the numbers, when I hear the numbers,
it's crazy.
I'm just like, oh, what we can like.
It's
what
crazy.
Are you gonna do? What can you do but pay?
But from a HR perspective, do you think it's crazy? Because a lot of people don't think that people have this narrative that people are taking out loans and this.
And it's true. It's for some people.
It is true. It is true. I do think it is true, but I do think it depends on how much the couple like. I think a lot of people forget that. For example, like well, let me take my wedding for example. We spent 60k, but that's 2 people. If you divide 60 by 2 people, that's 2 people earning 30k.
Plus parents.
30k plus parents.
Yeah.
So in theory, if you're just using most of your salary monthly on a wedding for a year, I don't think it's that mad. I do think a lot of people are not taking out loans. But that could just be me and my naivety.
I think it's a balance. Like I think because people don't have real transparency about what people earn, that's where it comes from.
Yeah.
Like, I think people are at two ends of the spectrum. Either like you're both earning like 25k, or you're both earning like 150k plus, and then it just doesn't. But I think it's everybody decides what they spend their money on and can make a commitment to something or not. People save for a wedding the same way people save for a house. And if you if you already have a house or you don't have a house, it depends what's important to you. Like, and I just think sometimes people don't get that. Just because it's not important to you doesn't mean it's not important to this person. Just because you don't want to spend your money on that doesn't mean they don't want to spend their money on that. Just because buying a house is the only thing that you can see in your life, your goal doesn't mean that it's that for them. Maybe they want to have a wedding. Maybe they buy a house later. Maybe they already have a house. Maybe they don't want to buy. Maybe they want to rent. Like maybe they just have the money. Maybe they get a loan.
I think there's a lot of just a lot of confusion when it comes to the whole wedding thing, which will have just people talking forever and ever, which I love. I love the conversations.
Does you being in HR, did it when you were doing your wedding, and does it impact how you look at certain things with vendors?
100%.
Like how they communicate with you, how you communicate with them.
100%, and that's why I don't mind like a lot of the. I don't think it's a lot of backlash, but sometimes I do get backlash, and I don't mind because I literally do this for a living anyway. Like people don't love HR, so it's not. It's
everybody
not
hates HR.
Tell me something that hurts.
So I'm not. I've literally got like 10 years worth of experience of doing this. So like when it comes to like reviewing contracts and all that kind of thing, like this, I do feel like this is my bag. And sometimes this is one of the things I want to ask you guys this question as well, especially maybe you, Velisa, when you did your wedding. What do you guys think about like contractors? I call them contractors, but I see them as contractors. That's first things first. So like I see all of the vendors as like freelancers, contractors. And then like a question that I asked was, should we be giving them food as like the people getting married? But the way I see it is that if you were to go to work, your manager's not literally paying for your transport. And I see a lot of these freelancers requesting for us to pay for their transport, pay for their food, pay for all these things. But I'm literally giving you your hourly rate anyway, but you're asking for all of that on top. That's how I see it. I know not the average person would see it as that, but a lot of people argue, actually, no, because they're doing your wedding, you're supposed to pay for their transport, you're supposed to pay for their food, you're supposed to pay for their accommodation.
So I want to answer, but I want to ask Lola, because Lola, you're the self-employed one. So you tell me, like so when these people are doing this,
I think
it's nice to be on the receiving end. Don't get me wrong.
Let me give you the high level.
Okay.
So I
already know what I think.
Let's say you're paying somebody. Let's say it's the MC. You're paying the MC 1K. And now they're saying, okay, you need to pay for my Uber to the venue, and you need to feed me when I get to the venue.
Can I add?
And overnight stay next to the place. Like, you need to make sure that it's a 4-star hotel. Let me know, like, as someone who's self-employed, how should that actually go? Should they be expensing it separately, or should it all be included in the price? Because tax, like, you can expense that and it can be deducted, right?
Minus also to add the fact as well that the price that they're giving you is already inflated because you're paying for the premium
because it's a wedding
service.
Because
that 1K on like a birthday or something else
is free bill.
Be like £300. So you've already inflated it to factor in those costs technically.
So what do I think? Okay, so first and foremost, I feel like there's two different scenarios, right? There's like traveling within like the locale. Traveling, like, for instance, if I'm going to a client in London, I ain't gonna ask them to pay for my transport. But like right now, we've got a client asking one of us to fly to Croatia. You gotta pay for my flight. Do you know what I mean? I'm gonna get myself to the airport, etc. But you're gonna pay for my flight, and
so you
like
I
get myself to the airport. Do you know what I mean? Like, you have to be reasonable. You could expense every single thing, but also like, I just don't think that that's necessary. Like, when I'm traveling within London, I don't expect my client to expense it.
But can I ask a question? When you're providing a service for a customer abroad, does your day rate or however you charge?
No, I would expect them to.
Does it go a bit higher?
No, it wouldn't. But I would expect you to cover my transport. And I do feel like, some like people do like exclusivity fees. For instance, like if I was going to travel on, let's say I needed to be at the client for the Monday, and I was going to travel on the Sunday, I wouldn't charge them. I would charge them the flight, and I would probably expect them to might pay for my meals and stuff while I was away. But I wouldn't be like, I'm traveling on a Sunday, so I'm gonna charge you for it. Like, I just wouldn't do that. Some people might. I wouldn't do it personally, because I know that's not a day I'd be working. I've obviously agreed to it, so I'm comfortable with it, blah, blah, blah. But if someone wanted to charge a day for a Sunday, they could. It's not what I would do, right?
Listen, I had somebody, I won't say who, because I do really like her as a person, but she basically wanted to, I didn't go with her in the end, but she charged me for every day that she wasn't working in London.
Wow.
Because my wedding was obviously in Greece.
But I feel you have to be honest about it. So I feel like if there is an opportunity cost of me not being able to work somewhere else, that's different. But if I know I don't work on that day, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if the client asked me to travel on a Tuesday, on a Thursday for a Friday meeting, I would bill them for the Thursday because I know that I'm losing money. Yeah. If they asked me to travel on a Sunday, I know that it's a bit inconvenient for my time, but I wouldn't be getting paid anyway because it's Sunday. Do you know what I mean? Unless I'm going to try and take that day back somewhere else. But if it's a day that I know that I'd be getting money, then I would ask for like compensation.
Do you know what it's for me? I think it's more the communication. Why do I need to know it's because you're losing money on these days?
I think
why don't you just tell me this is your price?
And that's it.
Why do I need to have a breakdown?
I feel like,
or like add it. I feel like,
but the thing is, there's actually no day rate, and this is the problem. So there isn't. No, but this is the issue. It's like I feel like with the vendors, sometimes it's a bit disingenuous because I have a day rate. My client can ask me to do anything on that day rate. The day rate is the day rate. Yeah. But if you don't actually have a day rate, but you're saying that every day you're out of the country, this is the rate, it doesn't feel like it makes sense to me. Because on the day, like you could say it's going to be £1,000. Like depending on what you do on the day is what you're going to charge me. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So if it's like okay, £300 per day, that's your rate. So every day that you're out of the country is £300 per day. But on the day that you're actually doing the service, you want to charge me £1,500. Do you know what I mean? I just feel like it's not a real day rate.
When I come on your pod, clip this.
Yeah, I'm gonna frame it. We're gonna play it. We'll play it. Watch it back. Watch it back and then dissect it. Yeah, no, I just think it's just.
I just feel like the thing I can say, not from like wedding vendors, well actually dealing with my friends' wedding vendors as well, but just vendors in general, from a HR perspective, I always feel like you need training.
Yes.
That's the issue.
Customer service.
You need training.
Even if the cost is going to be mad, I feel like if you get challenged, you should actually just know what to say as well.
Nice.
No, even if you're not nice, just know how to like break it down. Like, because when I ask people, okay, break down your cost to me, you're stuttering.
Yeah.
But why are you stuttering?
But the thing is,
you should know why the price is inflated, even if it's
my devil's advocate, advocate. For me, you ask me, okay, if I told a client I'm going to charge them £500 per day, and they ask me why is it £500 per day, I'm going to say that's my rate. Like, I don't have to talk to you about why that is. I'm not even going to try and explain it to you. I'm just going to tell you that that's my rate. And I feel like that's what they should do. I feel like the issue comes when they start trying to explain with nonsense.
But that's your rate. But on a normal day, you're not charging plus accommodation plus. So you're not having all these extra add-ons. Because your day rate is your day rate.
If my rate on Monday is 500, and on Thursday I tell you it's going to be 1,000, and you ask me why, I need to have a reason.
And that's the position that we find ourselves in all the time. I need to have a reason. I need to play
birthday makeup versus wedding makeup. Birthday makeup versus bridal makeup.
You get it, but that is the wedding one. So that's why I'm so passionate about everything, because I just see it with like a HR lens. Like in the corporate space, this just would not run.
Because they don't have they don't have business acumen and they don't have business acumen. They don't have training. Listen, even if you want to work in H&M, before they let you touch the shop floor,
you need to do customer service training.
Even to sell $2.99 knicker, you need to have training. Let alone to be asking people for £500, £1,000, £2,000. It's crazy. I just think there's no emphasis on training, and people think, okay, I have a skill, I can run a business. But they don't realize that the skill is great that you have that skill. It's a great foundation.
Talent does not equate to you being a business.
And I feel like they don't realize that that's the foundation. I think they think it's the foundation, the structure, the roof, the everything. But it's not.
Word of mouth is so powerful. So these people just know that you're being spoken about.
Like, no, but word of mouth goes both ways. Like, as in,
if you're really good,
it's the word of mouth that's carried them there. Even if no one talks about the customer service and
just the work, like the Instagram pictures,
the work,
the tags, the people, the influencers that they've done their makeup for or their hair for or whatever it is. Like, it's just ridiculous.
Can I ask a question as well? So you just said about word of mouth. So something because I watch a lot of these TikTok scandals as well. You know, love it.
Same.
I watched a lot of these TikTok scandals. I don't know if it was on TikTok, but anyway, it came to my attention that there are like hairstylists, makeup artists, or just people that provide services that have these group chats, and customers that do them wrong, or that are basically they're in these group chats discussing customers, basically putting in their names, their details, their like all of their personal details in these chats. What are your thoughts about that?
What's their protection?
GDPR.
They don't know that, and I feel like know that because they don't know. They don't. A lot of people don't have training.
A lot of people underestimate the power of GDPR.
Because
they don't have training.
That's
so like a lot of people don't realize the power that they have with their personal information.
I'm so sick. If you do, imagine doing a data subject access request to a hairdresser. They're going to tell you they don't have your data
right now. Anywhere you put my name, give it to me now.
They're just going to say no. They'll say no, or they'll say we don't have it. I don't have any data.
I don't have to give you my business. Is my business, and it's like no. Like I feel like a lot of people in like this space, they underestimate the power of GDPR, and I feel like it just takes one case
just one
for us to all learn. Honestly, our
somebody
lesson,
needs to be taught a lesson for the others to learn, and that's the problem. As a community, we're not very good at holding people accountable in properly. A professional way. We like to drag people, and then when the dragging is finished, everyone goes about their business.
But you know what?
We don't do it in a way where they need to be held accountable.
When you say professional, do you mean like legal? Because professional, they will very child it, because you have to have a professional reputation to be to be worried. If you don't have a professional reputation, it doesn't matter. If I come to you and say, look, I just want to let you know I'm really dissatisfied. I'm not going to be using you moving forward. I'm not going to be recommending you. They'll say, well, I already did your wedding, so
whatever. I got your money.
They're not going to care.
The streets love me.
But it's changing.
And then they'll take a picture, put it on Instagram.
But that's still put your picture on Instagram.
That part, But I just think it's going to take just one case of GDPR for us to all learn.
But who's gonna raise that case?
It might be a HR person. You never know. It might be one of your listeners. You never know. There's still many more people.
Listen. I'm looking at everyone and I'm learning. There's no way. When I eventually get married, God willing, I'm gonna have a small wedding anyway. Do you know what I mean? I'm not gonna be dealing with any of this stuff because I won't do. You know me, I won't deal with it well.
You won't.
And sometimes I don't know how to let things go.
Vendors and stuff.
I don't know how to let things go, and I really hate incompetence.
Well, I'm always here for an episode. I'm always here to do an episode.
I really hate. I really hate incompetence.
To Lola, Lola,
no, listen,
can't do anything about it now. Like we need to move on. She'll want to cry. Like she'll want to physically cry.
One thing about me. In the season of my life, I will sue you.
Oh yeah,
like I will actually sue you.
No, but
and you can take it. I won't even take it to social media. I will just sue you, and I won't threaten to sue you. I will just sue you.
No, but I've heard so many.
I just can't. I'm just that kind of stuff will stress me out.
This is
it happens though. It happens more than we realize. Though
it does, but this is why everybody that I used for my wedding. I have they do my hair on the regular. They do my makeup on the regular. I didn't go with anybody that I didn't know already. I would be in the hairdressers on a random Tuesday after work, and I'll be telling Steph, laid by Steph, oh, you're going to be doing my wedding next year. Do you know what I mean? So when it came, it was like, oh, Steph, did you get I was seeing them throughout the process. So I didn't have that same trust issues, or are they going to let me down, or do you know what I mean? Because especially we'll talk about it, but even with Steph, she had a baby 8 weeks before my wedding. Because I remember
you did that. She was pregnant.
She was pregnant, but she didn't tell me. I'm sure she wouldn't mind me saying this. She wouldn't tell me. I was in church and I was on Insta. I said, and I saw her drop her reveal that she was pregnant. I said, this is God telling me I shouldn't be on my phone in church, because the way that I started,
you're panicking. You thought that she's not coming.
Listen, my mum was next to me. I said, mum, she's pregnant. Look, she's pregnant.
I know.
Because I'm a mum. So when I saw that,
you're like, she's taking time out the game.
I just thought, how does this work timing wise? And as a mum, you think, and not in a bad way, but you think you can do it all when you're still pregnant. You don't realize that when you have the baby,
your body physically slows you down.
Literally, you just don't know how you're going to mentally feel or physically feel. So when I saw it, I was like, yeah,
that's it.
Because she was doing the hair for all the bridesmaids, not even for me, but I was still like, hey. And then when I spoke to her, she was like, I'm coming. I was like, are you sure? And honestly, she showed up for me. She came with her sister. Even before we got to Greece, like she did my son's hair as well. She got her sister to comb his hair as well because he's got hair. Like she was so amazing. Like she did my hair for the welcome party, all while having an 8-week-old at home. And she did it because we have
a relationship.
Yeah, we have a relationship, and I feel like that's.
But that's the HR in you that allowed you to be in that position.
I couldn't pick somebody that's never touched my head or my face. I couldn't do it.
I don't think the average person would allow that.
I just find the whole thing like I've heard too many scary wedding stories.
It's scary.
And like I've never heard someone. I've met people who said they had a good time at their wedding. I've never met someone who came away from their wedding not annoyed at some vendor or other.
Yeah.
This doesn't happen.
Do you know what? Do you know what? I have things that annoyed me. But all of them do it, so it's not anything specific.
It's the industry as a whole.
I would use all my vendors again if I had to.
Yeah, but they still did annoying things because that's the industry.
Yeah, that's the industry.
Some of them.
Yeah,
99% of mine. I had a 1%.
It's not about the final product. I think I think when we look at people's makeup, we look at people's hair, we look at the decor, people's wedding venues, like it always looks beautiful, but it's that what you're talking about, the process, everything behind it.
So hard.
Whether they get to see, they're gonna get there.
It's because a lot of people feel entitled as well. Like we were talking about it off air, because we getting married abroad. When I say the way
do you get married in the UK or abroad?
I did. I tried here my white wedding in Greece.
In Greece,
let me tell you. But I think it's just Europe, you know. I don't think
how they work, their business acumen, how they speak to you, the customer service. Good or bad? It's amazing. Yeah. Like if I could have all of my vendors like
treat me like that, like a princess,
I will have no complaints about any
But you know, I feel like also in Greece,
I'm sorry, bearing in mind like, a lot of these vendors as well. I didn't necessarily, not all of them I spoke to directly because I had wedding planners.
It's the culture though.
I was not worried. I slept so well.
No, but I think it's a Europe thing.
I feel like you have to be organised because like I just feel like some of these, especially in Greece, like I feel like some of their weddings like 500 people.
No, their weddings are big. Yeah.
And I feel like they must just have to be organised.
It's light work. It's light work.
Yeah.
But they just some make UK service providers look like trash.
They do, honestly.
But I don't think it's just a Greek thing. Greek, I love Greece. I can go there every year I could go there. Yeah. But I think it's a European thing because even when I went, there's that venue. I don't know if you've seen that venue in Portugal now that everyone goes to. That has like
yeah.
And even the service there is amazing.
Like, you've seen so much content.
Yeah. No, it's such a. I would go there. It's such a. I've been invited there maybe like 3 times in the last year.
Wow.
But like, it's such. The experience as a guest is just. I just think it's Europe. It's just the UK. I don't know why we just don't want to.
We should start a customer service training.
You know what? I was saying this to my little sister. I was like, someone needs. I think you'll make big business from this because I think there's a missing piece now. I don't know what happened.
Delusional. They're like, I don't need that.
No, but
they don't need it. They don't need it because
until they need it.
At the end of the day, they don't need it. Like it would be nice to have it. Because the customers will be in less distress, but they don't need it because the problem we have here is it's not stopping anybody.
Yeah, some people don't mind having the bar.
You have to, the bar is low for some people. It has to be a big story. Like you have to hear something like they lost the wig. On the day of the wedding, then you're like, I can't go to that person. But even if someone comes and says, my makeup artist was rude to me, whatever, they're gonna say your face was beat though. Beat for the gods.
Look at us. This is how we don't flourish. Look at us.
Your face was beat though.
What's the problem again? Oh my god, no, it's true. I think there's a missing piece there. I think we don't need it for now. But we're still waiting for the Lolas of the world to have their wedding, and let's see if the tone changes.
I can't have big wedding because I'll lose it.
But I don't think size matters. Size doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Size does not matter when it comes to this thing.
When I say big wedding, I mean like
cost or.
No, I mean big wedding.
I mean small to save yourself. You get more mad because you've done it this way so that you can be at peace.
Yeah,
and they're still giving you stress. That's when you get even more.
When I was buying my flat, this is like when I was buying my flat, my solicitor, my estate agent, my broker, they asked me like, "Are you a real person?"
Why?
I would just
You're so thorough.
I would just do so. I would checking in because you know the thing about solicitors, if when you buy a property, they don't be talking to you.
They
don't be talking to you.
I hate it.
Send an email and they might copy you in. I'll be like, I don't understand what you have written. Like, what is it? Like, oh yeah, don't worry. I'm over. I want to.
I'm worried.
I'm actually worried.
It's a whole house.
I also want to be a contact.
I'm
going on. You're going on holiday. I'm getting you out of office. Why didn't I know you were going on holiday? Why didn't I know you're going? I've emailed you. I've got you out of office. Why didn't you tell me that you're going on holiday?
I'm waiting for an episode.
What? You're my broker. You're on holiday. Where's my update? Where's my mortgage?
And we're looking at you like,
I sent one email. Yeah, I sent one email. I was like, hey team, I'm away for the next 2 weeks. These are the actions for everybody. My broker, my solicitor, my whatever. And
not the action.
Yeah, the actions.
Okay.
And the my estate agent, he like went to Christ the King, and we ended up having like mutual friends. And I sent the email, then he texted me. He was like, "Are you real?
You're tapped.
Like, are you a real person?"
What are you giving them?
I said, "Yeah." I was so HR about it because I can't come back to turmoil because you guys are not talking to me.
That's too much.
Imagine in the process of buying a house, you get an out of office from your solicitor to say that he's on holiday.
I think that's the benefit
and he
of
hasn't
being
told
a HR person.
That's crazy.
That's the benefit of being
that
a HR. It just makes you so. I feel like you just view the world completely different.
You do.
And it makes you. I'm sure they were moving fast as well because of that.
but they also hated me. But
I'm
okay with that. Again,
everybody hates HR.
You have to do
you
that
got
stuff.
what you wanted in the end, right? So.
I had a group chat with all the vendors. I had an email thread, and I made like a spreadsheet and presentation, and it had all the FAQs, like what, because I had a dress code as well, so I told them like what color they had to wear, and there was like a spreadsheet with like their airport, what time they were leaving, what time they were coming back, which airline it was, what type of luggage they had, who should get in what cab with who, what hotel room. I made sure that I called the hotels to make sure their rooms were like next to each other, like everything.
You did a big one.
No, because I don't trust people. So I need to know that like I've given you everything. So when you F up, I can just say
you can stand on business.
It was you.
You can stand on business.
Let me show you. So my friend there, she got married in July. I was a bridesmaid. She had like the most like her wedding document.
You see, you project manager. I thought I was here until I meet people like you, and I'm like,
actually, but it was like,
and you know,
you need those people.
That's the thing. I think a lot of the time vendors forget that the kind of people that are able to even afford their services are big people. You know, in the real world, I think
that they organize and plan and do all these things.
So I can only imagine like what you're about to show us is going to be a madness as well. But you even pulling that spreadsheet together, that's experience. That's so sick though.
Like,
and then someone's still taking the piss out of you anyway. It's more frustrating. It's like,
it's like, I've given you all the information. Like, you shouldn't be like, some people were emailing me like very close to the wedding. I was like, you shouldn't be emailing me.
I'm worried.
Yeah, especially when they're flying.
Right, it has the couple space. Oh wow, not the thing.
There's the timeline, and it had who's getting their makeup done in which room.
Yeah. To have all that stuff.
And it just went. The timeline continued. Ceremony. What's happening? I don't want anyone who's walking with who. The photos that we're gonna take. You know, this group photos. Hair. Yeah, this is the hair and makeup part. This is bridesmaids. What everyone's jobs are on the day.
I heard that as well.
Yeah. Groomsmen. The groomsmen's part is obviously smaller.
Empty.
Yeah. And then
just get lit.
Much smaller.
No, but this is why like the conversations I have are always so passionate, because I have so many brides that do this, but then imagine doing all of this
and then it still goes wrong. Yeah, it's true.
That's where the frustration
at this friend's wedding, the venue, like it was such a beautiful day, like everything, like I think to the outside no one would have known, but the venue, for instance, when it came the cake was supposed to be cut and put out or served on trays.
Oh, and it wasn't.
Where's the cake? They said we don't know where the cake is.
Oh.
And I'm sure that thing
they found it. They found it eventually, but it's like, why don't you know where the cake is? Not even that you didn't know. You had. This is what I mean about being in HR. It's fine to not know. Yeah, but you do everything in your power before
to resolve it.
If someone asks you where the cake is, you personally don't know. You say, okay, let me go find out. Yeah. You don't come back with them and say, I don't know. Yeah, you would go, and then even if like you come to the front, you know you're together. Even if you're running back there like a headless chicken, everyone's looking for the cake. You're looking under the sofa. Somebody is gonna come out and say, yeah, we're just cutting it out for you.
Yeah, even if you don't know. Every time they look at you, you just pretend like you're even looking for the cake as well, not just standing there like a dumb. But
like.
I don't know.
We need to have pips for vendors.
That part. Oh, listen. Listen,
that would be
a little performance improvement plan.
Well, for now, come to the bride's room. That's as close as we're gonna get to a pip for now, to be honest.
Gosh.
But yeah, no, it's a tough position to be in, especially like because I do try to follow as much as like all of like these little like complaints and stuff online, and you just see sometimes as well what's tough, and I'm sure you go through this as well at work. But what's tough is when a couple do come out or a bride does come out, but then the vendor then goes back and attacks them. Then it's kind of like.
Yeah.
And I've seen it one too many times as well. I've seen a makeup artist. I don't think she got paid by the couple. She didn't get paid by the couple. I don't know if you guys saw this.
I think I saw it on TikTok. Yeah. And then she put the bride's name and the groom's name. And she said that she had done the sister's wedding or something before.
Yeah. She said I'd done the sisters, and she said that they didn't pay me my money. Give me my money. Like, I need my money. Like, give me my money. Just give me my money. No, but the TikTok made it did numbers. Oh my God. I felt so bad.
But again,
why would you do that?
What do you think about that?
That's terrible.
What do you think about that? As HR professionals?
That's terrible.
A business.
That's not how you sort it out.
I can, as a business owner, I can never respond. I can never respond
That's
on a
what
public
I'm saying,
platform.
though.
If someone wants to come and say, like, number one, I will never let it get there, because the moment you have
to have things in place.
You know, it's the scarcity mentality from some of these vendors as well. Like, for me, even if like
someone bashes your business,
yeah, like I just feel like if I'm a vendor and somebody doesn't pay me. Like you can't. It's
like a delayed invoice.
You can't be that down. Like, you can't be that down bad that like that one person pay. I understand it's money and everyone needs to get paid, but I'm gonna take it like behind closed doors.
Yeah.
Like I'm never gonna come.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna come online and say this person did this to me, that person did that. Number one, data as well. The first
GDP. I'm telling you about this GDPR.
Yeah, that's the first thing, and then also like it just makes you look unprofessional. For the same reason that if an employer did me dirty, I wouldn't go and say it on LinkedIn.
Yeah, exactly.
But some people do.
Some people
do.
Employers are now looking at you.
Sorry, I can't hire this one.
It's the same mentality, and even if that employer was wrong, another employer will look at you
and be like,
and it's not because of what you're saying, but because of the forum that you've chosen to do it in.
Avenue you've taken.
100%.
I could never. It's the same mentality that I take. Like as a business owner, even if somebody could go online and drag my company for filth, I'm not going to respond to them in the public forum. That's crazy. Because I know that my customers, for instance, they're watching me, but they ain't watching you. Do you know what I mean? So you doing all that stuff. No one I care about is gonna see it.
It's gonna come back and bite you.
Even if they did see it, they would know, that girl's a bit crazy. Like that guy's a bit crazy.
You've lost something.
But once I respond, then the people that I care about are gonna see it. Like, that's the bit that I don't get.
But I feel like people take it too personally. Like when I saw that, it's kind of like you're mixing your personal existence with your business. I think some people see themselves
as have separation of brand.
You need to learn to separate the two.
That's the problem.
Someone bashing your business is not the same as bashing.
But that's also why they can't grow.
Yeah, it's the whole not having business acumen, because you wouldn't do that.
You wouldn't do that.
Do you think PLT will respond to everybody that's backing them?
Man. Anyway, discount codes.
Literally, they don't care.
But I actually think that's like, again, it's so interesting that when I look at these, as someone that's trying to grow a business, when I look at these like vendors, whether it's makeup artists, hair, decor, whatever it is, dress designers, I understand why they are so tired and why they can't grow their business, because it's the same issue that I had before. Like people want to buy HR services, but they want me to deliver them. And I can only deliver a finite number of HR services before I'm knackered and I'm exhausted and there's no more time for me. So like you hire people, and like even now people come to me and say, oh, we need a fractional head of HR. I'm gonna say, I've got this other girl, she's amazing. Like
but sometimes you want you.
Yeah, but that's the problem, because they've built a business around them.
What
they should be doing is hiring people,
building a business,
having a look. You have a look. The same way you used to go to Mac and they would do your makeup with a look. I'm not saying it's a good look.
It's true.
I say it's a good look, but it's a uniform look. You go to Tony and Guy, you get a uniform haircut. Like that's what they need, but they don't have that. So now they're just like, they're just hiking up their price, when really what they could be doing is just getting
scaling up.
And then just taking a percentage of everybody.
Because if it's like 50 pounds,
that's better.
And then you don't have to work. You can teach people to literally teach people to beat the face like you. But again, scarcity mentality. You don't want to teach that person because then they can go do it for somebody else. But again, you don't need to do stuff like that. Like train people. If you want to get them a little study contract,
it's true. Listen, lock them in. There's a clause.
Don't let me disrupt this industry.
That's what I'm trying to say. Don't let me
disrupt this industry. They're lucky that I don't have the talent. They're lucky I the talent. Don't let me disrupt this industry. That's what they should be doing.
No,
I would love to be the business. I would love to be the business manager of one of those. Like,
me too.
Yeah, I would love it. I would love it.
No, I think that's what they should do. I think there's a business needed for it. I feel like there's so many different ways to enter the wedding industry without having to be a hairstylist, makeup artist, cake maker, whatever. I feel like that is needed.
But everyone just wants to be
teaching people how to scale up there. People want the I think people have egos. I think it's the ego is like you want to be like the most like happening vendor. Do you know what I mean? Like
some people are so quiet and they're making so much money in the wedding industry. I always say wedding industry and baby industry. I need to get into one.
Oh yeah, no, the baby one, because you think wedding one is bad. Wait until the baby
one's crazy.
What? Like, Pram's coming up to your first car. People don't know that when someone's pushing that bugaboo. Understand that is money that they.
My friend had a baby.
I had the Fox 2 bugaboo.
They told chameleon free.
They said that you can have all-terrain prams. And my friend was like, "Oh, they're trying to sell me an all-terrain pram." I said, "Unless you're alter, you know, alter different terrains, like in the." But you know why? I see the people with the pram for different terrain at Park Run. I say, wow, it's like they be lapping me. The men with the pram, the women with the prams, they're pushing the prams and running 5K. Unless you're gonna do that, what do you need?
Sorry,
no. The baby industry is open my eyes.
Sorry,
like
and I spend money on babies and weddings.
I get sold. Yeah, I get sold though. Like I'm still like on my list. I still need a yo-yo because I fly a lot, so I need to get the pram.
You're like my friend. You don't. Well, I have the butterfly, which I really like.
It's close, but you're not allowed to bring it on the plane.
Oh, you can.
Is it? Is it?
Are you loud?
Well, did they know? But listen, I had a rule breaker. I heard the yo-yo was the only one.
No, I'll take the butterfly.
Well, I need one of them ones that you just flap and carry on your shoulder.
I hear it, but you're a consumer.
Yeah, and I don't mind. I put my hands up. I ruin the market for a lot of people.
Self-awareness.
Even like self-awareness. I like the zips.
Oh yeah, me too.
Nails,
yeah,
but the zip ones cost like double what the
baby grows.
Yeah, what the button ones cost.
Is that okay for baby zips?
The zip,
yeah, because it's up. The button you're the
because you want to change their nappy. You just want to zip. But with the pop-ups, you got to
since
pop.
So I even wanted to start my own like baby grow like with the zips.
You should
like inspired by my son.
Yeah. I feel like there's so many like business ideas.
Honestly, there is. That's a whole other episode.
This is the HR in us. It's like we've seen so many things work. It's just like but anyway,
it's just finding the time because if Lola had the time, by the way, everything we've spoken about,
she's gonna make a document after this episode.
Someone that thinks she can be in the next Olympics, by the way.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe it. I think
the only thing that stops me is not trying.
Yeah, I have that kind of mentality where you just think you can do everything. You just haven't tried to do it yet.
No,
I hear that.
No, but I know my limits. There's certain things that I can't do.
No, I don't believe that.
I feel like I do. There are certain things that I'm not good at. I leave those things to other people to do.
Really?
I told you, makeup. They're lucky that I don't have the talent.
If
I had the talent,
you said it's game over.
I would be game over. They're lucky that I can't do makeup. I can't do hair.
You can just learn though. It's just.
Yeah, I'm not interested. Like, I do feel like with makeup artists that you can learn, but I feel like the ones that are really good, they have like an eye, like a natural, like they're artists.
A lot of them can draw.
Yeah, they're artists. So I'm not a natural artist.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
Although I did sell my art on Etsy.
Look at she's like, you did. What, where?
I said I wanted to start a card company, me and my boyfriend.
Etsy, innit?
And I drew the cards.
Oh really?
They sell online. They bang.
Is it? Is it
like a Miss Rachel one?
Yeah, true.
No, we did mainly football cards. Yeah, for little boys because it's women that spend money. They get it for women, and for boys and men. That part. So like, you're my man of the match. Happy birthday.
Oh,
yeah.
That must have been
because it's easy. If you have a men, it's hard to buy men things, but they're just like football.
Yeah. That is so. What's the word?
Looking sexist.
No, but that's what women think. That's what a lot of women think. They think, oh, I need to get them a card. Arsenal.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's really not hard.
Fair enough.
It's the same mentality that I have. So
fair enough. I need to jump on Etsy as well, to be honest.
So there's loads of bride stuff you could put on Etsy, but I feel this
conversation is digressed.
Sorry, we're talking about everything but HR. Sorry.
And you know what? Yeah, it's really funny because Velisa gave me a list of things that we were supposed to talk about.
Is it? 100%.
Is it? Sorry, guys.
And we haven't spoken about one of them.
Sorry. No, we haven't.
No, but we did speak about your career. That was on the list.
Yeah, but that's not really that exciting, to be honest.
Yeah, the rest wasn't that exciting. It was like the 4-day week. The employee that died at Wells Fargo and no one noticed.
I didn't even know that story until you told me.
Did you not?
I didn't even know it. All I know is
the snapshot you gave me. 3 or 4 days and no one noticed.
What, in the toilets?
No, she was in her cubicle. But then
what in the wait?
What you said died? I thought you meant that she. sorry, when you said it, I thought you meant there was an employee who worked at Wells Fargo who died and at home, and they didn't realize.
She died at her desk,
and no one realized.
And nobody noticed or realized. Until someone said, "Oh, what's that
smell?"
4 days, 3 or 4 days, and Wells Fargo said she was in a more isolated area of the building.
There's no excuse. There's no excuse.
So that's why nobody noticed.
But where was the cleaner?
That
means the cleaner was.
What are your colleagues?
So basically, the reason I brought it up is because I started seeing a lot of, I get it, but any excuse where people on TikTok were like, "This is why you don't dedicate your life to a 9 to 5. You're just a number. You're put her job vacancy tomorrow."
That's the natural result.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, fulfill your dreams. Number one, you shouldn't dedicate your life to.
It's true. I agree.
But also, what do you want them to do if you die?
No, but
show me the work they need to get done. You have to take a little break though.
Yeah.
You gotta get a contract.
Did they say how she died though?
So nobody knows. I don't think the
article
has come out, but they're assuming it's natural causes. Like nobody did anything. There was no foul play.
Yeah.
But it's just that maybe if somebody noticed.
How can you die for that? What kind of company is that? I'm so
because it's
big company.
It's
big company.
Massive. That's
big company.
Massive though.
Big company.
Nah, it's true.
Big company.
That's what happens when you have a number. When you have a number. One Slack message. In a small company, you get a one Slack message that's delayed, and that's it. They're looking for you.
This conversation has gone full circle.
Yeah, exactly. That's what happens. In a small company,
I know, right?
They'll check for you.
Trust me.
They'll come and ask you about your kids.
They give you 30 minutes. Lola hasn't replied. Aisha, where is she?
Nah, do you know what?
They'll be looking for your ass.
I've been in companies where we've had to call we actually call the next of kin.
Yeah, I've done that bedtime.
And if they answer, you got to go get that welfare check.
Yeah, 4 days. She was there for 4 days at her desk before anybody noticed.
That is so sad.
That's a long time.
That's crazy.
Nearly a week.
Jeez.
Unless 2 of the days were doing. Maybe 2 of the days were on the weekend though.
Maybe her manager was off.
So maybe it was a Saturday.
She was 60.
She died on a Friday. Saturday, Sunday is the weekend. Monday,
it was the 16th of August that she got to work. I don't know what day that is.
I'm checking now.
And then on the 20th of August, officials.
I hope that's not a Monday to Friday.
Yeah, I knew it. So 16th was a Friday. Okay. So that makes sense.
So she died on the Friday.
Friday evening.
She got there at 7 a.m. on the Friday.
Okay, but we don't know when she died.
We don't know when she died. Go into offices on Friday, to be fair.
And then on the 20th of August, security called officials and said subject down. And while a colleague was walking around the building, they found her in her cubicle.
Oh, mad.
Yeah, so
she must have been senior as well.
No, but on that Monday that they found her?
No, Tuesday. If it was 4 days, right?
Yeah, 4 days. Yeah.
So it would have been Tuesday. And that makes sense though, because Monday's a busy day. Everyone's in their meetings, hustling and bustling. Then Tuesday, fair enough.
Mad. That's crazy.
I don't think they'll get into trouble for that.
No, it's very sad.
It sounds very sad. It's just sad.
So number one, why is your office that big?
And she don't have no family.
This is the same Wells Fargo that we were talking about.
That's what I'm saying, no family.
We were talking about Wells Fargo a couple of episodes ago because they were doing they had some diversity policies.
Okay.
And basically they had to have 50% of the shortlist has to be diverse. So
women, positive discrimination.
Sort of. But what they were doing is doing fake interviews so that they would just to meet the quotas, they were bringing in people that didn't meet the specification even if the job had been filled. So let's say they gave it to a white man in the end, they would basically be like, oh, we need to just show some more candidates, so let's bring in Velisa and Aisha, just interview them. And it could be for a head of technology and they'll interview you and say,
but they were paid with these paid actors basically.
No, they were real people. So sometimes
companies do that all the time.
Yeah, but not for the role was filled. I don't think a lot of companies waste their time like that.
No, I do. I do think a lot of companies do that.
You think so?
Do you think?
Well, I see that all the time.
For what?
What? Just jobs in general. What, to make it look like they're
they're trying to hide.
Yeah, all the time. Oh my god, that is a British company 101.
I feel like that's
that's crazy.
But you guys sound like you work for more American companies.
I work for international companies.
Very British companies will do that.
Do you think?
Oh my god, yes.
Do you know what? To be fair, with Black in HR, recruiters call me to say can you give us Black?
That's what I'm saying.
But I don't know what they're doing because
I'm telling you, it does get done because I swear, especially if your company's over about 250, 500 people, you have to have a certain number of people that are Black or whatever. So
in law firms and stuff, maybe.
So I do think sometimes they do, but they always know who they're going to go for eventually. It's rough. It's
crazy.
The game is the game.
Yeah, the game's again. You just got to know how to just finesse it, to be honest, make it work if you can. know how to make it work in your favor. But that does definitely happen more often than you realize.
Do you know what? I really love this episode.
I love it too. I really want to go on further, but I know it can't.
It's been great. I love it.
It's been good. It's been really, really good.
I feel like we do a lot of like talking on HR and other stuff. We do digress into like TV and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't think people get to see us this animated unless we have a guest.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because you guys make us like digress and get distracted, so they get to see a bit more of us.
No, but you guys are fun. I feel like you should have more guests.
We should have more guests.
You should have more guests.
We're going to have more guests.
Yeah, we are.
But you're our first guest in like ages.
Really?
This year?
Oh, I feel honoured.
Yeah. Who's
this year?
For Aisha?
This year.
Wow. Oh, your first guest this year.
Well,
we're in September.
I don't want to
offend
anybody.
Oh, sorry. Okay, well, you know, I'm glad to be here.
So. Okay.
We're gonna have more guests though.
We are.
No, you guys should do it. It's been good, and I think it's good to see it from different industries perspective as well. So no, thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming.
And guys, don't forget to check out the Bride's Room as well.
Yes.
Where can everybody find you?
Everyone can find me on Spotify, YouTube, Apple, TikTok. Follow me on Insta. And look out for Groom's Room. And
is it all at the Bride Room?
All at the Bride's Room UK on Insta and the Bride's Room UK on YouTube and everywhere else. Bride's Room UK. So yeah,
live show tickets, still a few left. Just get them now before it's too late.
It's gonna be lit.
That's a wrap, guys.
Bye.